Okay, I think I've got this on. Left corner says I'm live, so I'm going to assume I'm live. Just starting to set things up. And while everyone joins in, you can see my place in the background. Okay. There we go, right on. Is that angle good? Okay. Hi. Welcome to Thursday's, Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday's Facebook Live. My name is James Dixon, and as you may already seen, but if you are new to checking us out, I work with Artbeat Studios. You can see repping my gear today. So Artbeat Studios, we are an organization that uses art as a form of working through mental wellness and mental health. So since the onset of COVID, we've decided to bring some workshops online and do a Facebook Live with whoever would like to join in and show you some of our techniques, our creative techniques, and some of the stuff that we do here at Artbeat Studios. I can see, hey Marissa, good to see you there. So today, I am doing pastel drawing. I think I was gonna try to do a little bit of black and white, but I think I started reading about color blocking and I got really excited about it. A couple of weeks ago, or was it last week? I feel like I'm losing all sense of time, but Marissa did a creative technique here on Facebook Live and she used pastels. And it was my first time using pastels ever. Like they've always been sort of, in my peripheral vision as an artist, but I'd never actually sat down and said, oh, I'm gonna work with like chalk pastels this time. So Marissa's workshop on the pastels was really cool and I really liked it. And I've been kind of playing with pastels for the past week now. And the one thing I really have read about, I've sort of Googled pastels, was color blocking. So using like two colors, very contrasting colors like yellow and a red to create like a big sort of abstract blocky feel. It's just a cool sort of design you can do with pastels. Once we get into it, you'll see like there's a texture to pastels that works really well with this. And hey, Studio Central is on. Hey, what's up? And my cat, yes, just a quick reference about my cat. I have a cat, and when I get preoccupied with things, she tends to make appearances in the background and do things. So she may pop in for a minute. But I guess I want to get into off the hop is what do you need for this kind of workshop? So working with pastels, it's a pretty simple setup. It's a pretty simple, it's minimal supplies compared to say oil painting or other sort of more involved mediums. So that's what I kind of like about this as well. So let's go. So first of all, okay. Can you see me? All right, good. Okay, so first of all, you need paper. So what I have for paper is, I'm gonna keep adjusting this. Bring this down here like that. So you have a couple of options. Like this is just a basic sketch pad. You can see it's an acid-free stretch or sketch paper, 9x12. This is good for anything like charcoal, crayon, pastels, pencil, and ink. So just a basic notepad. Now this is a little different. This is actually called Bristol paper. So this is, if anyone's familiar with it, something that you can do a lot of pen and ink on. It's a very smooth surface. So that's why it's good for pen and ink. And I actually found I did a couple of projects with pastel on the Bristol paper, and I kind of liked how the pastel worked with the smoothness of the paper. There was like sort of a nice spreadability, which we'll get into as we do our thing. And that was another what I did. This was actually from Holly. She did a workshop, a creative technique here on Facebook Live last week. You can look it up on our Studio Central Facebook feed. Just go into the history of the videos, it should be there, but Holly did a really cool blind self-portrait session. So I did that and I included a little bit of color in it. So yeah. But so I think I'm going to use the Bristol paper. So I'm just going to pull a piece out of here. Okay, there we go. I always feel like when I tear paper like that, like like a checkbook, I feel like I always pull a check out or a piece of paper and like rips in half. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna put this over here. So another thing, so we have the paper. Another nice thing, we're working on this sort of white surface to protect from the table. This is just a piece of white foam core. But something that helps is tape. So this is actually just some painter's tape because I recently repainted my place of residence. And so I have this leftover painter's tape, so I thought I would just use this. So any kind of tape that you have, Scotch tape, masking tape, painter's tape, anything to hold the paper down on your surface so you're not like, it's not going all over the place. There we go. All right. Okay, so now we have the paper, it's taped onto our surface, and the piece de la resistance is pastels. These were gifted to me from my mother, who is an artist, and she loves giving me art supplies. But they're just aesthetically, just look at that. It's so nice. You just get this nice sort of vivid color range. So this is really sort of what got me excited about working with pastels and the idea of color blocking. So color blocking is going to be taking like this kind of magenta type red and like contrasting it with this yellow. So I'm just going to put this there so you can still see that. Okay, that's good. It's always hard to figure out your angles on this thing, so. All right. Hey, right on. Yeah, thanks, Kim. Isn't it? It's like, it is beautiful. It's like such a vibrant colors. Oh yeah, and sorry, last but not least, if you have access to it, a warm drink, especially on a day like today with all the snow, right? It was wild. It was... Let me just adjust this. It was wild. It was snow. It was sun. And now it was snow and then it's sun and it's beautiful now. So anyways, art is a great way to work through days like this. When everything feels a little bit hopeless, art is something that can really reignite that sort of creative space in your head. And this is why I like these pastels, because they are so easy to work with. And I just found when I was working with them, I don't know if it was the color, but I just found myself really feeling inspired by this medium. So What we're doing today is going to be sort of playing with the color on the paper. We're not doing any sort of specific picture. We're going to be creating two shapes on the paper, one in contrasting colors. So one will be, as I said, that yellow, one may be that magenta, whatever you choose. As long as you get a nice sort of fun contrast between the two. And I just saw a question, what kind of pastels are these? These are Jack Richardson, I don't know. Jack Richardson, I think. Square pastels. And yeah, I feel like you could probably get these at Artist Emporium or Michael's. I know that they would carry that for sure. And even Dollarama carries like a sort of a basic pack of pastels. So it's definitely an art medium that is accessible at many different like levels of quality. So yeah. Oh, I forgot one last thing. When I was kind of reading up on it, they recommend, because pastel's kind of dusty and can kind of blow around, is to drum roll, wear an apron. So I brought my apron from, this is my painting apron, so you can see all the paint stains on it. But this will help, wearing an apron like this will help keep, that dust off of your bod. So, all right. So, I think we'll use a pencil. So if you have a pencil, sorry I didn't mention that, grab one. We're going to use a pencil just to create a basic shape, a line across the paper, whatever you choose to do, but I'll take you through what I'm going to do so you can like glean your own line from that example. So 1 second as oh God, I need a selfie stick. Okay, all right, there's our setup. Okay, I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's following along. I feel like when I do these things, you're sort of tossing out a lot of information. So I hope everyone is feeling good today. And I'm happy and thankful that you are all here. And that's awesome. So, okay. So here's my paper. I was going through this sketchbook, and these are just sort of some basic designs that I was sort of creating, like sort of blocking out these types of designs. So you can kind of see that's an option you could do. This is 3. That's 3 shapes, and that's totally acceptable if you want to try that out. This is kind of neat. It's kind of hard to see. I'm just going to pencil in darker, but it's 2 shapes. That's 2 shapes, right? But you got this sort of jagged, a bit of an oversized jagged cut through the paper. So that could be a possible sort of shape option for you. I think this is going to be the shape I'm going to use. Here's another sort of fun one. This one's actually 1, 2, 3. This is 3 shapes as well. But I did a series of acrylic paintings around this idea as well, so that you can kind of see that can be an option too for you. So you can see. So I think for myself, I'm going to do this shape. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Normally, like, I'll be honest, I would have a ruler. Low-key confession, forgot my ruler. So I'm going to be freehanding this line, and that's totally cool too. The idea is we're just trying to get the shape onto the paper so then we can start using the pastels to create that sort of high contrast between the two. So I'm just gonna have a sip, cup of joe. Okay. So I'm gonna put this here, make sure you can see everything. These Facebook Lives are also very interesting. They challenge, I feel like they're challenging us as facilitators in terms of using a compromised space. Like we have a limited space to sort of include everything and make sure hands are visible. So it's just sort of an interesting dynamic that I'm not used to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sketch a line across the paper. You as well, if you wanna do a basic like sort of diagonal line or just a simple straight one across, that's cool. So I'm gonna start here, down like this. I'm sort of copying this one here that I drawn earlier. Down like this, then we're going like this, then we're going straight down, and then we're gonna cut across at another angle. So that's pretty straight. I don't know, like maybe that's why I think I unconsciously chose not to bring my ruler because that's a pretty solid line. That's just to toot my my line making skills. Okay, so now here is the big, like, the idea behind color blocking. So is to pick two colors that really contrast each other that you wouldn't normally see paired together. So I was really initially drawn to this magenta red color with the yellow. That could be really cool. Or even this sort of purple and green. That could be cool. I'm not sure how in real time this Facebook Live is, because I know yesterday I was watching it and it was a little bit laggy. But if anyone wants to throw a shout out and say like what colors you want me to use, that would be cool. So you can kind of see the options. What do you think? I see 8 people are watching. Someone tell me what to do. And if you don't, then I think I might go with trying the purple and this green, just because I love this green. So everyone feels good about that color choice? Yeah, I feel like everyone would appreciate that color choice. So okay, so let's start. I guess another thing to think about is the pinks. Oh, I saw the pinks. Should I do the pinks? Oh my gosh. What if I did pink and did that pink and yellow that I sort of talked about before? Yeah? I see some likes popping up. Pink and yellow, pink and yellow. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. I'm switching it up. Curveball. Okay. All right. I think I grabbed the right one, did I? I got these two. I'm actually quite bad at like knowing what I think. Team pink. I think this is pink. No, this is pink. I don't know. Okay. All right. So I think the next step is to figure out where you want your heavier color to be. So I think for this, I want to put this color on the top, and then we're going to do that yellow underneath here. So now what you want to do is just take your pastel and just fill in this large space. So I'm just going to go ahead. You can use the full width of the pastel like this. So this is a new pastel. It hasn't been used, so it's not as broken in. But I'm just going across the paper like this. You can see that color's filling in. So it may look a little messy, right? Like, I've got lines here. I don't know. Like, this isn't looking nice and smooth how I want it to be. The one really cool thing I love about pastel, and I'll show you this trick right now. If you've worked with pastels, and you're very much aware of this, but just take your fingers and then you can just blend it. it blends right onto the paper. It is like so good. So all those like sort of jaggedy lines, they simply blend right in, and you get this beautiful, smooth finish. Like, look at that. Isn't that cool? So it's just really, I love just the contrast of the medium, like how it sort of goes onto the paper itself, and then the effect you get from, so you can see. Yeah, I definitely got the pink. It's cute. Aww. So we're gonna keep filling in the space. Nice. And it's nice, once you get the your pastel chalk, it breaks in pretty quickly. So once you get it broken in, it just really, you can pull that color across the paper. And it's just a really nice and easy way to get coverage. I think that's one of the things that I'm really sort of attracted to when it comes to pastels. I really am into sort of how I don't want to say easy, because it's not like, you know, easy is very subjective, but it's just really accessible, and it was just easy for me to catch on when I did this. So this is what I really enjoy. What I mean, so you can see this. It's all the dust coming off. So thank God I'm wearing an apron, right? Yeah. Okay. This. So I'm just going to use my fingers now. I'm going to blend this color in. And there's actually something really kind of satisfying, you know. I feel like, you know, literally getting your hands dirty. It's like it's fun. There's a physicality to pastels that I did not expect. Okay. So that's looking good. So I think as I'm looking at this, I'm just going to, I'm just going to grab a brush. Yeah, brush back over here. So this is, I think, a good option. Oh, hey, Christine. My phone went to voicemail because I'm in the middle of doing a Facebook Live. I did see that you phoned. So I will contact you after this. Good to see you there. Okay. So now I'm just using this brush to sort of brush off that excess pastel. And again, that's just any brush. So I think what I want to do is, I'm just looking at this, I'm going to do a nice hard line and trace that original line that I drew with the edge of the pastel. So you'll see what I mean when I do this. Side note, I'm left-handed. So you can see it's interesting when you're left-handed and doing art, like anyone who is left-handed. If you're writing in pencil, you get like those graphite marks on the side of your hand. Oops. And it broke, but that's okay. That's okay, because pastels break. But yeah, when you're left-handed, you get a lot of like stuff picks up on your hand. So today I'm gonna get a lot of pink pastel on my hand. Okay, so we got that line there. We're going to bring this line down here. Okay, right on. Great. Oh, thank you, Kristen. That's good. So I'm just going to use this brush again to sort of brush this. And this is like, I swear, well, I've been playing with pastels for about a week, and I'm loving this. Okay, there he goes. So now I'm gonna start using the yellow. Okay, so first we're using that bright pink, and now you can see if I just put that there, that bright contrast between the two. So in the video it's like, oh yeah, it does. I know videos. Someone just said it looks like I'm right-handed in the video, but it's just the that mirror reflection reversal camera thing. I don't know. It's science. I don't know. Science. Okay. So now I'm just bringing the yellow down over on this side. So this is a little bit trickier on this because you want you don't want to get this color too blending. You don't want to blend into the other pink color right away. So maybe use sort of the sharper edge, this edge right here, and maybe just do sort of a line there. So then you can like still get that yellow right up to the edge. Ooh, okay. I like that. I like the yellow. So we're going to bring this line. And then we're just going to take this yellow like we did with the pink. We're just going to blend this across like that. So you just want to fill up the whole space, this negative space. We want to turn this negative space into a positive space full of beautiful yellow pastel colors. So we don't have time for negative space, only for positive spaces. So now that I've got this sort of filled in, I'm going to take my hand and blend it, but it's a little covered in pink. So what I did, I sort of I have a damp cloth, and I'm just going to wipe as much of the pastel off. So then I'm not blending too much of the pink. You still will get a bit of blending happening between the yellow and the pink, but this damp rag to keep by your side can help to eliminate some of that color on your hands. So now that we have this filled in, now we're going to use our moderately clean hands, and we're going to just blend this color in. Okay, and not before I have yet another sip. Oh yeah, okay. So I just had a really good comment here, and I have a possible solution. I could use gloves though. So for Cassandra says she wishes she could use chalk pastels, but the physical feeling of them feels like nails on a chalkboard, because you get that sort of grainy roughness, and it does have that feeling. And my solution is actually something that Cassandra mentioned as well, is that possibly using gloves. So you can get those non-allergic latex gloves. You can get like a pack of them. Some artists use them, especially when you're working with chemicals. It can help to protect your hands. But in this case, Cassandra, those could possibly work to stop you from that feeling. Another thing that helps is the fact that I'm using this Bristol smooth paper. I find that the pastels, they just move nicer across the paper, and you like avoid that feeling of nails down a chalkboard. Okay, so I'm just going to blend this color with my hand. I'm already getting some some overage from the pink in the yellow, and you know what? I feel like for the abstract workshops that we've been doing, we all individually as facilitators have all mentioned the fact that mistakes, I don't think they're mistakes. I think mistakes when it comes to abstract work are just a part of that process. And when you kind of go with that flow, then doing this type of technique and sort of seeing these like different little flaws kind of add to the beauty of the piece that you're doing. So, and I just want to say, just to reiterate, another thing that we've sort of brought up a lot is mindfulness and feeling grounded. And get a little eye contact for this, for a little heart to heart. Christine, yeah, I miss you too a lot. Yeah, I think with this whole COVID thing, I miss a lot of people. I miss seeing all the regulars around, or my coworkers. I don't get to see my coworkers really, so. This sort of practice, what we're really doing is we're just sort of navigating a technique with the pastel. We're not doing a specific piece. This technique, I think, is a process that can lead you to that next step of creativity, that can help to open your creative mind to new potential. But when it comes to these different techniques, when I was doing painting the last time, I just find the physical technique of doing this right now is so grounding, it's so relaxing, and it just really helps to center myself as an artist. And I hope that you can find that centered feeling too when you're doing work like this. But yeah, just, you can hear it. We're gonna listen to this for a second. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, back down. Okay. So now we're just kind of bringing that color in here. Just smooth that color out on the paper. So you just get this really brilliant, smooth, like just beautiful coverage on your paper with that color. Just gonna use this brush again. I see there's quite a bit of excess, so I'm just gonna brush the excess off. I'd say you can potentially blow on it, but the one thing I noticed when I blew was it kind of goes whoop, whoop, it goes everywhere. So when you use a brush, you can kind of, like sweeping, you can see I'm able to collect all those little dusties. And as someone who is allergic to dust, of all things, like I'm like actually allergic to dust. I know there's a large population of us allergic to dust, but it can be frustrating because dust is everywhere. And pastel dust is very similar to dust itself. So, okay. So I'm just looking at this. I think what I want to do is I want to pull, I want to try to do a yellow and just trace this line again over here. So I just want to, just to sort of close up this gap. So we're going to go fill that in. Oh, good. Hey, Lauren, how's it going? Jeez. That's awesome. If anyone has any questions at all, also this is a Facebook Live, so I'm getting your feed. So if you have any thoughts, or if you have any comments or questions, I can try to answer them as best as I can, or direct you to Google. That's pretty much how I learned. since I've been doing this for like a week and a half, how I learned all of my skills. But I definitely Googled some stuff, and Google really helped. Okay, so we're just gonna bring this, use our fingers to blend that color in. And we're just gonna go like this, draw your finger across there. Just get that beautiful, look at that, just get a nice crisp line. Just gonna use the brush, bring it across. Get those dusties off of there. Yeah. So now I just want to show you. So this is such a simple setup. I'm just going to use my damp cloth, as I had mentioned earlier, to wipe some of that excess pastel off my fingers. I even keep a little bowl here if you want. There's no water in it, but just to keep the rag in it. So that's there. I almost feel like I'm on a cooking show, you know? So I'm just going to show you. So this is a basic exercise, but even with a basic exercise, you can, I'm just going to take the phone out. I know it's like sort of seems like a basic technique, a basic exercise, but I think that word is important, exercise, because as artists, we can be creative. We can have, big soaring ideas, but one of the keys as an artist, and we forget to do, is exercise. And exercising is everything from literal exercising, like walking, or reading a book, or in this case, practicing with pastel chalks. So what we've done is we've color blocked with this beautiful pink and this yellow, and it really just has such a cool and beautiful effect. And you'll see some of the pink bled onto this side because of my big stompy fingers, but that's okay. I think that looks really cool. And so honestly, what goes from being just an exercise as an artist, to me, this feels like a finished piece. I feel like there is definitely a story in here. You can see the shape, you can see the colors playing off of each other. So this is a technique that you can use to help sort of generate that creativity for yourself. Just put you back in here. Okay, so that is my sort of, that's my little creative technique on how to use pastels. I would say, as I said before, that I just started using pastels last week, and I love it. Like, I love the feel, I love the look, I love the pop of color, and I just wanted to sort of share that excitement for this, my excitement for this new medium, and I hope that it's maybe something that you can take into your daily practice as well. I just saw Christine said, when are we all back? So yeah, we are currently doing these online workshops every day at 3:30, and we are doing these due to the fact that we are closed because of our situation with COVID, as everyone is aware. So for the time being, we are closed, like Artbeat Artworks, Studio Central, and Artbeat Studio. So we will let you know, check our social media, check our website. We will definitely keep you up to date with what's happening and when we're reopening. But for now, we are closed, and we're hoping that these online workshops can sort of provide a bit of a supplement for that isolation that we are all experiencing. And I know that it can be really tough. It felt tough this morning when I saw that snow. I looked out my window and I was kind of like, no, I'm not interested. And I'm thankful for the sunshine, and I'm thankful to be here. Doing this, like I said before, for me it's very grounding, And I'm thankful that I have this art community, this creative community around me. It's really inspiring, and I'm so thankful to be here with you today. So that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the down below after, like, you know, what kind of pastels you might want. I had mentioned what these were, but we can try to help you out in however we can. So anyways, thank you for watching. And tomorrow we have another creative technique, 3:30. It's coming your way. Everyone, have a great day. And yeah, bye. I'm going to just press the finish button here.